All right, hello everybody on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to check out the Spotify playlist, then go to Spotify and search for Lunar Flow with Nina. On Instagram and YouTube. Let me pause that. Okay. All right. So wherever you are, find a comfortable seated position on your mats. You can sit on the edge of a block, sit on the edge of a pillow. Feel free to start your Spotify playlist now as well. And try to sit with a tall spine. So adding length into the spine, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, closing the eyes if that feels good, or keeping a soft gaze open. And we'll just take a few moments in the beginning of the class to just tune into our breath, to just ground ourselves, pause, take a moment to reflect on what is happening in the mind and the body and the breath. So while sitting here, just noticing how the breath feels as it enters into the body. Noticing the rise and the fall of the chest with every inhale and every exhale. And see if you can move the breath down into the navel. So instead of focusing on our shoulders moving up and down or our like whole upper body kind of shifting, we want to really keep the shoulders stationary as much as we can. And we want to bring the breath down into our navel. So it's even helpful to place one hand on the belly button, the other hand on the heart, or you can place both hands on the navel. And we should feel our hands moving away from our spine on every inhale, and our hands moving closer to our spine on every exhale. This shows us that we're really moving the breath down into the abdomen, really using that deep belly breathing. And this will be really useful as we move through our sequence as well. As we move from pose to pose, we're going to hold the poses a little bit longer since we're doing moon salutations, Chandra Namaskar. So it'll be really helpful to practice this deep breathing as we move through the sequence. So just taking the next few moments to continue focusing on the breath. Maybe even noticing what temperature the breath is as it enters in through our nostrils. And noticing the temperature as the breath leaves our nostrils. And along with the breath, you can release the hands down to the knees if that feels comfortable. Just noticing in this moment what sensations are felt in the body. And if we notice that we're clenching our shoulders up, that we're kind of tightening our body, this is a great time to scan the body and just notice where we're holding tension. Moving our shoulders away from our ears and focusing on at least one sensation that we feel in our bodies at this moment. And naming that sensation, not judging or labeling it as good or bad, right or wrong. I shouldn't be feeling this. This isn't good. Just simply observing or naming what sensations are showing up. And even locating where that sensation is, whether that's a small local spot or if that's a more general, wider area in our body, whatever that is, just simply traveling to that sensation wherever it is and naming it and observing it. Along with our breath, along with our physical sensations, just noticing the quality of the mind, noticing the thoughts that are coming in, not judging or labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong, simply just observing, naming, and seeing if we can gently bring ourselves to the present moment by anchoring into our breath, anchoring into our body. And we just keep repeating this process. It's normal for our minds to wander. This is often referred to in many texts as the monkey mind, and that's perfectly normal. So in these moments of our mind wandering, we can just use our breath, use the sensations in our body as a way to focus on what is happening right now. And continuing to follow this practice, just setting the intention for the class today. So this is the start of the Lunar Flow series. We'll be having a class on or around the new moon and the full moon of each month. And the lunar cycles are historically represented in many ancient cultures, really in a cyclical manner. There's, eight phases of the moon over a 28 week cycle, 28 day cycle. And as most things in life, everything is cyclical, right? Our seasons are cyclical, our day is, our circadian rhythm, our menstrual cycles. There's a lot of cyclical themes that are present in the world. So the moon follows that same phase, and historically, the new moon and the full moon are the kind of culmination of different meanings in ancient traditions. And today, we're going to be focusing on the theme of the new moon, which really the new moon is happening once a month, and it's essentially a time to set intentions. So it's really a time to plant seeds, to set intentions, to visualize what it is that you want to have happen in your life, what you want to manifest in the next month. So this is a monthly practice of just goal setting, vision boarding, a kind of a way to set intentions. And so that is what our practice will be around today. And at this time, before we go into the second half of the class and focus on a little bit more of the theme of this particular new moon, this is a great time before we start our movement practice to set an intention for your practice this evening. So asking yourself, why is it that I'm seeking yoga right now in this moment? What brought me to my yoga mat? So setting that intention, whatever that is for you. It could be anything along the lines of, I just want to get some movement in today, or I would like to ground myself, or I'd like to relieve stress, or I want to just learn, I want to learn what the moon salutations are. Whatever it is, just repeating that intention to yourself, reminding yourself of why you're on your yoga mat in this moment. We'll continue to touch base with our intention throughout our practice. We'll also get a chance to expand on our intentions for this new moon in the latter part of this class. We'll slowly start to deepen the breath, bringing some movement into the body, rolling the wrists in circles, moving in one direction, and then moving in the other direction, shrugging the shoulders up to the ears, hold the shoulders up to the ears and squeeze, and then roll the shoulders back down. Once again, squeezing the shoulders up to the ears and rolling back down. We're going to open up our cervical spine by doing some neck stretches. So bringing your right ear to your right shoulder Just adding that opening on the left side of the cervical spine. If it feels good for you, you can use your right hand to gently bring the left ear down. And breathing here, so really practicing that deep belly breathing. It's really easy to hold our breath as we do some of these stretches, especially if we're feeling tension. So just moving through that breath, bringing that breath down into the abdomen, really practicing that deep belly breathing. Holding it here for just one more deep breath. And then releasing that right hand. Tuck the chin to the chest to get an opening on the back side of the neck. And then rotate your left ear to your left shoulder, opening up the right side of the cervical spine. If it feels good, you can use your left hand to guide the neck down. Practicing that deep breathing. And then release that left hand. If it feels good in the neck today, you can rock the head back and just move the neck in circles. So just moving in as wide of a circle. If a half circle is the most you can do today, that's okay. We're just gently moving in one direction, opening up this range of motion in the neck. And then reversing direction, going another direction. And then we'll come back to center. We'll just do 2 gentle spinal twists just to open up the spine and reduce some tension in the lower back. So take your left hand, place your left hand as close onto your right knee as possible. It's okay if you can't reach the fingertips to the knee, but just reach the hand over. Take your right hand, place it behind you, and look over your right shoulder. And just go as far as feels comfortable, but you'll feel this spinal twist, which is really good for reducing tension and tightness in the back. You want to gaze as far past your right shoulder as is comfortable. And then we'll inhale as we come back to center. This time we'll take our right hand. We'll put that right hand as close to or around our left knee as possible, bringing our left hand behind us and then gazing over the left shoulder. And we're still practicing that deep belly breathing here. And we'll come back to center. So bring your arms up overhead. You're going to clasp the hands, flip the wrist towards the ceiling if you can, and just stretch up. Pretend like someone is pulling your hands up from the ceiling. So just stretch as tall as you can towards the ceiling. And then bring the hands back down. Just 2 last stretches before we get into our flow. Bring the right hand to the side. So have your fingertips touch the mat. Take your left hand, flip the left palm towards the sky, and then lean over to your right, getting a side stretch. And you can bend your right elbow all the way down to the mat if that feels good to you. So you're really getting a lateral stretch in the spine here. So you're reaching towards the right as much as you can with your left hand. And then we'll inhale back to center and we'll switch sides. So placing the left fingertips on the mat, flip the right palm up to the sky and fold towards your left, getting a lateral stretch. And the other side, breathing here, reaching as far towards the left side with that right hand as you can. And then coming back to center. All right, and then we'll just make our way onto our mat. So this is a great time to start the Spotify playlist. If you have the playlist, then just go to the second song. It should be by the XX. And then we'll find a tall stance on our mats. So come to the center of your mat, you're gonna put props apart, and we're gonna start moon salutations. Chandra Namaskar. So you're essentially you're facing the long edge of your mat wherever you are, and you're standing in the middle. The toes together, the heels are slightly apart, and we're just standing tall. We're gonna inhale as we bring our arms up to the sky. You're gonna interlace all of your fingers except for your pointer fingers. So you're gonna interlace all of them. And reach up tall towards the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale up. Exhale as you fold over to your left. So here you can see from the camera, we're forming a crescent moon here. Fold over to your left as much as you can. Swinging your hips out to the right, and we're gonna breathe here deeply. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Another deep breath in, and exhaling out. Come back to center. Release the hands to the side. You're gonna step out into a star type of shape. Your toes are facing the long edge of the mat. Your arms are out to the side. Okay, breathing here just to begin with. Deep breath in here, inhaling. Exhaling out. Deep inhale in. Exhaling out. All right, on the next breath, bring those toes facing out. You're gonna come into a squat. So bring the arms into cactus arms. Your elbows are bent. You're bending down, you're sinking down through those hips. The toes are pointed out. Breathing here as far as you feel comfortable. Deep inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in, see if you can sink even further. And exhale out. Beautiful. On the next breath, straighten the legs. Bring that right foot in a little bit more. You're going to point your left foot towards the front edge of your mat, the short edge of the mat. So your right toes are facing the long edge. The left toes are facing the left. We're gonna come into triangle pose. Bring the arms out to the side. Kick your hips back behind you towards the right. So you're kicking the hips back, 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 reaching forward. And then you're bringing your left fingertips down to the ground. The right arm is pointing up towards the sky. So you're coming to triangle. If you have a block or something to place your left hand on, that's great. If you need to bend that left leg to make this more comfortable, that's okay too. We're coming here into triangle, taking a deep breath in, exhaling out. Deep breath in again. Exhaling out, beautiful. On the next breath, rise back up. And this time you're gonna fully move your body towards the front edge of the mat. So now bring that back foot up a little closer and stagger those feet. Both of your toes are facing in the same direction. They're facing the short edge of your mat. Bring your arms up to the side, breathing here. Option here as we move into pyramid pose. For those of you who want to grab the opposite elbows behind you, you can do that. If you can do reverse prayer, where you bring your palms together behind your back, you can do that. If you don't want to do any of this, that's also okay. Inhale as you open the heart up to the sky. Exhale as you forward fold over that left leg. It's okay to bend either leg if there's any pain. And see if you can relax the head and the neck down. Breathing here, you'll definitely feel this in the back of the front leg, but definitely adjust accordingly, bending either leg if you need, and letting the head and neck relax. Deep inhale in here. Exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Exhaling out. Very slowly release the hands down to the mat. And then slowly, slowly, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. All right, next step. Scooch that leg, right leg back behind you and bring that right knee down to the mat. Okay, so this is a time where you can place something underneath that right leg that you need. But it's okay if your left knee goes past your left ankle. This is gonna be crescent moon lunge on Jani Asana. So we're actually literally forming the shapes of the moon as we kind of move through this. So options here is you can just raise the arms up to the sky. For those of you who want to do a little bit more of an extension, you can bend back here. Bringing the arms back behind you. So breathing here, make sure to keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhaling in again. Exhale out. And gently bring the hands down. All right, so we're definitely gonna get into the hips if you don't already feel this by now. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move into what looks like a ninja pose. Okay, so you're gonna come into the ball of your left foot and you're now gonna face the long edge of your mat. Your right foot is flexed, okay? For some of you, this may not be happening at all in the hips. That's totally okay. For some of you, you may be even able to put the left heel down. So do whatever feels comfortable for you. So just stay here. We're really working into this right leg. We're also working into the hips. For some of you, you may be able to find your balance here. Breathing here, inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in again. Exhaling out. Good job. All right, so now we're going to move into a squat, malasana pose. So you're just gonna sink down, bending both knees. Okay, so you're gonna sink down in between your feet. If you wanna place a block or a pillow underneath your seat to kind of help with the hips, feel free to do so. If you need to place the hands down to hold yourself up because it feels uncomfortable to bring the seat down, that's okay. Wherever you are, just meet your body where it is right now. Inhaling in here, exhaling out, inhaling in, exhaling out. All right, we've completed one half of a moon salutation. So now we're gonna finish up and get back up to the mat. So now what you're gonna do is come onto the ball of your right foot and extend out your left leg. So we're coming into ninja squat on the other side. Okay, your left foot is flexed. You're on the ball of your right foot. Getting into the other hip and extending out that left leg. Option to balance here if you have that. Wherever you are, practicing that deep breathing. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in again. Exhaling out. Great job. All right, so we're gonna basically do the same sequence, but we're gonna come back up to the mat. So now you're going to bring that right foot down. You're gonna face the other short edge of your mat, and you're gonna bring that left knee down. So now you're in a lunge on the other side. Your right knee is bending over that right ankle. Okay, so you're breathing here in this crescent moon lunge. Option for some of you is to raise the arms up to the sky. For some of you, you may be able to bend back. So wherever you are, keep that breath moving. Don't hold the breath. Breathing here, inhaling in, exhaling out, inhaling in again, exhaling out. Good job. On the next breath, lower the hands down to the mat. Tuck those left toes and lift that left foot up. We're coming into pyramid pose on the other side. Both of your toes are facing the long edge of the mat. So option here is you can just bend over that right leg. If you want to grab opposite elbows, feel free to do that, or feel free to do a hidden prayer behind the back. Wherever you are, let the head relax. Inhaling in here. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Great job. Slowly release the hands, roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. All right, so your right toes are gonna stay facing that short edge of your mat. You're gonna widen your back foot a little bit, but face those left toes towards the long edge. So your right toes are facing the short edge, left toes are facing the long edge. We're gonna come into triangle. Bring the arms out to the side. Kick your hips to the left. Reach, reach, reach towards the right side of you and come down into triangle. Option to place your right hand on something on the ground, wherever you are. Feel free to bend the knees as much as feels comfortable. Feel free to even let the head relax down to the ground. Taking deep breaths in here, inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhale in again, exhale out. And we'll slowly, slowly, slowly rise up from triangle. Breathing here. So now bring both feet to the center and you're gonna have both toes facing out. So have both toes facing out. We're gonna come down to that squat again. So our seat is coming down towards the ground. Our knees are pointed out. Our elbows are bent. Breathing here, inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale in, see if you can get even lower. And exhale out. Beautiful, straighten the leg. This time bring your right foot in. And that is a moon salutation. So it is definitely not easier than a sun salutation by any means, but it really works into the hips and it's meant to be done slower. Okay, so take a moment, we're gonna do one more, except we're gonna move through it just a teensy bit quicker now that we know what we're doing. Just come to the center, close the eyes, and just come back to that intention that you set at the beginning of class. Just reminding yourself of what it is that you are on the yoga mat for in this moment. And perhaps even thinking of an intention, something that you want to manifest in your life in the next month. And blinking open the eyes. All right, so that was one side of a moon salutation. So we started from the left and we ended up on the right. So now we're gonna start from the right and end up on the left. And that'll be a full set of Chandra Namaskar. All right, so we're gonna raise our arms up to the sky again, interlace all the fingers except for the index finger. So your index finger is pointing up. We bent to the left the first time, so now we're gonna bend to the right. So bend to your right, your hips are moving out to the left. Inhaling in deep, exhaling out. Inhaling in again. Exhaling out, beautiful. Coming back to center. Release the arms down. This time you're stepping the right foot out, coming back into that squat. Point the toes out and come down into that squat. That seat is moving towards the ground. See if you can even move deeper now. This is the third time that we're doing this now. So maybe the body's a little bit more open by now. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in again. And exhaling out. Beautiful. So straighten the legs. Now you're going to keep the right toes pointing towards the right edge of your mat. You're going to pivot those left toes toward the long edge of your mat. So we're coming into triangle again. Arms out to the side. Kick your hips back behind you towards the left. You're reaching, reaching, reaching with your right hand as if someone's just trying to hand you something. When you can't reach anymore, that right arm comes down to the mat. The left arm comes up, coming into triangle. It's okay to bend that right leg if that feels good to you, or to place the right hand onto a block or something to kind of help add some height. Wherever you are, inhaling in here, exhaling out, inhaling in again, Exhaling out. Beautiful. Slowly rising back up. And now we're going to bring that left leg a little bit closer, and we're going to completely face the right edge of our mat. Both toes are facing the same right edge. So both of your toes are parallel, they're both facing, and you're staggering your feet about mat's width apart, and finding that stance that you want. You can grab opposite elbows, you can try hidden prayer if the shoulders feel open, or you can just place your hands on your hips, whatever feels good to you. Inhaling as you open the heart up to the sky. Exhaling as you forward fold over that right leg, coming into pyramid pose. See if you can let the head and the neck relax down. It's going to be tempting to hold the head up, but see if you can just relax the head down. Feel free to bend your front knee if that feels good to you. Inhaling in deep. Exhaling out. Inhaling in again. And exhaling out. And slowly, slowly, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Releasing the hands. And now we're going to bring that left knee down to the mat, coming into that lunge, that crescent lunge. All right, so the right knee is bent, facing over that right ankle. The left knee is bent. If this hurts too much for you, feel free to just go onto the left knee if it hurts into the hip. So you don't want to cause any major discomfort. Wherever you are, find what felt comfortable to you in the first round of this. Breathing here, inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhaling in again. Exhaling out. Beautiful. Bringing both hands down to the mat. Now we're going to move into ninja. All right, so we're going to come onto the ball of our right foot, and now we're going to face the long edge of the mat. Our left foot is flexed. Left leg is extended. So you're in this like kind of stealthy ninja pose here. For some of you, you may be able to even bring your right heel down into the mat if your hips are open. Wherever you are, either have the hands on the mat or find your balance. Breathing here, inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhaling in again, exhaling out. Releasing the hands down. You're going to come into a squat. So bring that right foot in a little bit. Option to sit onto a block or sit onto something that can provide provide a seat for you. But coming into the squat, it's okay if you're just doing this or whatever feels good to you. Inhaling in deep, exhaling out, inhaling in, and exhaling out. All right, time to move into ninja on the other side. Come up to the ball of your left foot, extend out your right leg. Breathing here. So you're on the ball of your left foot. You can come onto your heel if that feels good, and your right leg is extended to whatever comfort level feels good for you. Either finding your balance or placing your hands on the mat. Inhaling in here, exhaling out. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Beautiful. On the next breath, release the hands down. Now you're going to completely face the left side of your mat. Bring your right knee onto the mat, and your left knee is moving past your left ankle. You're coming into that crescent lunge once again, facing the left side completely. Finding a stance that feels comfortable for you, not causing any pain, but perhaps providing a tiny challenge if that's what you're looking for. Inhaling in deep, exhaling out. Inhaling in again, and exhaling out. Beautiful. Bringing both hands down to the mat. Tuck those right toes, lift that right leg up, straighten that right leg. So you're facing the left side of your mat. Both toes are facing the left edge, so your feet are parallel and staggered. Bringing that stance that feels good to you, you can use hidden prayer or grab opposite elbows as you fold over that left leg. Let the head and the neck relax. Bend that left knee if you need. to avoid any pain. Inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhaling in again. And last exhale out. And slowly, slowly, slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. Releasing the hands. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale back down. So now move that right leg a little bit behind you, preparing for triangle. Your left toes are facing the left edge of the mat. Your right toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Bring the arms out to the side. Kick the hips back behind you towards the right side of you as you reach that left hand more towards the left until you can't reach anymore. Coming into triangle on the other side, left arm down towards the mat, right arm up. Breathing here, bending that left leg as much as you need or finding something to place your left hand on. Inhaling in deep here. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. And slowly, slowly rise back. We're almost done with our full moon salutations. And now bring both feet in a wide-legged stance. Point both toes out. Come back into that squat. Breathing here in that squat. See if you can tuck that tailbone in. Some of us may want to be doing this, so kind of like you're twerking, but you want to kind of tuck that tailbone in, kind of lengthen the spine. It might not be as easy to sink down, but you're getting a little bit more of that work in. So inhaling in deep here, exhaling out. See if you can sink even deeper. Last one, sink a few more inches down. Breathing here, inhaling in. And exhale out, beautiful. Bring that left foot to the right foot now. Standing tall, arms up to the sky. Bend over to your right. Inhaling to center. Bend over to your left. Inhale back to center and bring both palms down to the heart. Close the eyes. You have completed a full set, both sides, of Chandra Namaskar, moon salutations. So releasing the hands down to the side. Coming back into the body, just noticing how the breath feels right now. Feel free to separate the feet a little bit to find more balance. And just notice what is happening in the body. Notice any sensations that are coming up. Maybe tingling, maybe pressure, tension, tightness, or maybe you feel more space open up. Whatever it is, not labeling it as good or bad, right or wrong, just simply noticing what is coming up. And noticing the breath. What does the breath feel like right now? It may feel more rapid. It may not have changed, or maybe it's slower, but just simply observing. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And we'll gently blink open our eyes and we'll make our way down to our mat. So we're just gonna do a little bit of a hip opening stretch because we definitely worked into the hips. I didn't even know that moon salutations would feel like that, so I definitely feel it in my hips and my legs, which is great. It's a workout even though it wasn't intense or fast moving, which is awesome. So bring your feet together, your knees apart into what some people call as butterfly. This is called Baddha Konasana. This is bound angle pose. For some of you, it may feel good to have like a pillow or something to place on your feet so that when you lay down, you can kind of rest a little bit. Wherever you are, hold on to your lower legs and reach the crown of the head towards the sky. Grow the spine very long. So add length into the spine. Inhale up further. Exhale as you forward fold. Bringing your head down. Like I said, you can bring a pillow or a blanket onto the feet. It may feel good to even bring the hands out. You'll get more of a stretch in the hips. But see if you can let the head and the neck relax. You can even do half neck circles here if that feels good for you. moving the left ear to the left shoulder and then the right ear to the right shoulder. Relaxing the jaw, noticing if the jaw is clenched, noticing if the teeth are right on each other. See if you can separate the teeth, relaxing the jaw, letting the head and the neck relax. And slowly making your way up to a comfortable seated position. All right, so now we're gonna move into more of the non-movement part of the practice. So some of the intention setting, if you have the journal or something to write with, you can bring that out. If you don't want to journal or write, this is a great time to just kind of lay down on the mat. So you can lay down on the mat, turn off the lights, play the music. Now the playlist is just instrumental. So this is going to be a time for us to actually tune into what this particular new moon represents. So each moon is in the sign of a zodiac sign, and it really just has different themes around it. So find a comfortable seated position. If you want to sit on a block, I recommend just kind of closing your eyes for this part or keeping a soft gaze open, or feel free to just lay down on the mat. Whatever is comfortable in your body in this moment. So like I said before, the new moon of each month is really just symbolically, whatever this means to you, whatever it means to even follow the lunar cycles to you, you can just think of the new moon as a reminder each month to keep track of your goals. So just ask yourself, what is it that I want for myself in the next month? How do I want to feel in the next month? How do I know I'm reaching my goals? And so it kind of prompts questions like this. And so I'm going to read a little bit of a description of what this moon represents. And I want you to perhaps close your eyes, keep a soft gaze open, and just see what comes up when you hear what this new moon represents. Our very first new moon of the year brings us the hope, determination, and willpower we need to launch ourselves forward and officially take the pursuit of our goals for this year more seriously. This new moon calls on us to get clear about the step-by-step path we'll need to take to make our biggest goals happen, with all of the potential roadblocks and challenges well accounted for in advance. We may start to become aware of what we need to do in order to grow into the next chapter of our life. This is a time that's also known for giving us an intense drive to let go of the past by starting over and following a new, more authentic path, even if it's still out of our comfort zone. And this energy is also very much so around ambition and drive and organizing our goals. So it's a great time to kind of write down our goals, which if you have a journal, or if you just want to lay and think about what your goals are, the first prompt of this new moon is to really just ask yourself, what are your 3 top biggest goals for the first half of this year? And how will you feel when you have achieved them? So wherever you are, whether you're sitting tall or you're lying down, perhaps just taking this time to visualize what your 3 goals are. And this can also be a sense of a meditation for us as well, a visualization. So imagining, perhaps thinking of one of our goals right now that we want to manifest in the next month, whatever that means to you. What is something, not even the next month, for the first half of this year, the next 6 months, what is something that you want to see happen? And start visualizing what that looks like. And if nothing comes to mind for some of you, feel free to just use this time to focus on the breath, to focus on the bodily sensations that are felt. And use this time of stillness, reflection, and pause just to cultivate a mindfulness practice. But still visualizing what that first goal looks like, and I want you to also think about right now, how do you want to feel? Imagine that you have achieved that first goal. How does that feel for you? Not even just emotionally, but in your body. How is your body going to feel when you achieve this first goal? Just taking the next few moments to round out what this looks like. And if you're still thinking of the first goal, feel free to continue. Or now is a good time to think of, what is our second goal? Or what is a second goal that we have for the next 6 months? What is something that we want to see happen? And how can we plant those seeds today? What does it look like? This image or this vision that we're thinking of that we want to happen within the next 6 months. And during these exercises, if the mind wanders, which is perfectly normal if it does, see if you can just come back to the breath or come back to the body. And then you can come back to visualizing what a goal looks like. And it's okay, be gentle with yourself if the mind does start to wander. And the second goal, in addition to what it looks like for you, how do you want to feel when this goal does come to fruition? Not only emotionally, but in the body. How do you want this to feel? How will you know that you've reached this goal? Just taking the next few moments to round out the second goal. And if you want to continue visualizing either the first or the second goal, that's okay. You can continue to do so. Or visualizing a third goal right now. What does that goal look like to you? When you visualize it, what do you see within the next 6 months? And how will you know that you've met this goal, or how will you know that this goal has been achieved? In addition to that, how do you want to feel, both in mind and body, when this goal has been met? Imagine that you even have it right now. How does your body even feel just thinking that you have that right now? Just taking the next few moments to round out that third goal, and perhaps just scanning through all three that you visualized. What are three things that you would like to manifest in the next 6 months of your life? What do you want to feel like when these goals are met in the mind and the body? And following these goals, it is customary at each new moon to set a final intention that is themed with that new moon. So if you think about the goals that you just set, what is one thing that you can do today that will bring you closer to either all three or one of them? So what is an intention that you can set today? What is a seed that you can plant today? Examples of this are, my intention for the next month is to let go of negativity. Or my intention for the next month is to surrender. Or my intention for the next month is to be present. So those are examples of what an intention statement can sound like. So what statement can summarize the goals that you want to set for yourself in the next 6 months? And repeat that to yourself almost like a mantra. My intention is to blank. And rounding out that intention setting. We'll just close out the last few minutes of class before we move into Shavasana with just doing some breathing. So really just focusing on our breathing. So I'm going to show us what is called this Durga breathing, which is a 3-part breath. So you really focus on essentially the upper body, like you're focusing on the chest expansion and the navel expansion. Okay, happening. So it's always nice for some of us, it may be nice to place one hand on the navel, the other hand on the heart. And just taking a moment to notice what the breath feels like and noticing if our hands are moving. So you may notice a subtle movement with the hand on the heart, and you may notice a more pronounced movement, especially with the deep belly breathing that we've been doing. You might notice that more pronounced, moving away from the spine and moving towards the spine. So we're going to play around with a breath that essentially just is also a deep breath, and we're going to play around with holding it for certain counts. It's going to be really soothing and really relaxing. But I just want you to inhale in normally, exhale out, and now inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale in again, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 3, 2, 1. One more inhale in, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 3, 2, 1. Now resume your normal breathing. Just noticing what that feels like. And now we're going to repeat that count of 4, but now we're going to hold our breath in the middle for 4 counts. So inhale in normally here, exhale out. Inhale in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale in, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale in, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out, 3, 2, 1. Resume the breathing, releasing the hands. And making your way down onto your backs into Shavasana. Finding a comfortable position. If you don't want to do Shavasana, you can just sit in a comfortable seated position. I'm just going to turn off the lights. And just take this moment of stillness just to tune into how the body is feeling after this practice. The arms to the side, the legs out in front of you. And if the mind wanders, just simply coming back to the breath, coming back to the sensations that are being felt in the body. Even perhaps focusing on one sensation that's being felt, traveling to where it is. And slowly starting to deepen the breath, bringing movement into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, stretching the arms up overhead, stretching the legs out in front of you, and rolling over onto either side, coming into a fetal position before making your way back up onto your mat in a comfortable seated position if you're not there already. Both palms together at the heart, the eyes closed or a soft gaze open. Giving gratitude to yourself for showing up to your yoga practice. Giving gratitude to your mind, your body, your breath, your spirit. And giving gratitude to those in your lives that show up for you. And one last repeating of that intention to yourself in your mind, just reminding yourself, what is your intention for the next month? That will plant a seed for the next 6 months of your life. Inhaling in deeply through the nose. Big breath out through the mouth. I thank each and every one of you, live or in person, for practicing with me. It's always an honor to share this practice with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day and your week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. So this was the first lunar flow, and there will be another one on January 28th, and it'll be for the full